Hello everyone, so as you can see from the title, this video is about Raúl Jiménez and Adama Traoré. After last night's epic game really against Liverpool, a great game for the neutrals, really good atmosphere at Molineux, it was absolutely rocking. Like I said, a good game and we played really well, but unfortunately we lost. It felt like the Spurs game, like I said in my vlog last night. Now before I go on to talking about Raúl Jiménez and Adama Traoré and the attention they're now getting after being on a big platform last night. I'm sure there was millions of viewers. It was the only game on. Obviously, Twitter went mental, bigging up both players. But first, let's talk about the game, because I didn't really go into much detail at the end of my vlog last night, because I was gutted. But anyway, yeah, on the game, in hindsight, absolutely amazing performance. But Liverpool do what the top teams do. They get the win, even though they didn't play that well. I thought first half we were unlucky to go in one down. We could have at least got one, but we're always one down in the first half, aren't we? That's just the way we are at the moment. And in second half we just played them off the park. I mean, for at least 70 minutes of that game we just absolutely terrorised them. Adama Traoré, Jimenez combined amazingly. There was a few poor performances, but I won't go into that. Let's keep this video positive. And yeah, just a sucker punch, but you're proud, aren't you? I mean, if we could... So I think we're about 3 players away from consistently being a top 4 team. That might sound ridiculous, but I think we are, especially with Nuno in charge. Our team's just quality on their day. And if they can be more consistent and get a bit more clinical in front of goal, we really could go places. I mean, you saw the praise from all the pundits and all the Liverpool fans on social media and all football fans on social media. I think Wolves have become now like everybody's second favourite team that they really want to watch, because we're just so entertaining. And there's been a few games where we've been on telly this year and we've put on a good show, and obviously being first on Match of the Day last week, coming back against Southampton. So there's been a lot of eyes on Wolves lately. So let's get on to the main point of this video and discuss whether I think Wolves can keep hold of Raúl Jiménez and Adama Traoré. First up, let's start off with Raúl Jiménez. Now, obviously we got him from Benfica. He was basically a bit part player coming off the bench, and he had a great season for us last year. We signed him, didn't we, just before the FA Cup semi-final, and he's carried on from where he left off this season, been absolutely brilliant. I mean, he had a bit of a bad start to 2020. I don't think he scored in 5 games, but 2 against Southampton, another one last night. Unbelievable performance. And just going through Twitter last night, this one here from Statman Fred: in 64 appearances for Wolves in the league, Raúl Jiménez has contributed towards 37 goals, which is crazy. We could have brought in for 30 million in the summer, so even Man United fans are gutted they haven't got Jimenez. What a long way our club has come when you've got Man United fans wanting him. Also, this tweet from Goal: 20 goals in all competition this season. Forget Edison Cavani. Shouldn't Europe's top clubs be targeting Raúl Jiménez right now? Not nice to hear from a Wolves perspective, because obviously we want to keep him, but very good tweet from him there, just showing the appreciation. Talking Wolves, clipped up what Peter Crouch said as well in the BT Sports studio. He said, he's an all-round centre forward, he's scoring goals, he's making goals, his link-up play is good, he's good in the air. I'm surprised he hasn't been linked with some big moves, because he's been doing this for a couple of years now. So yeah, obviously Twitter's taking notice. I mean, to be fair, he has been quite a high-profile player for the last couple of years, but it seems like lately he keeps getting linked with bigger clubs, i.e. Man United. And will he stay? Will Wolves sell him for a start? Because we don't need to sell. Obviously, we've got Fosun with big money. Would he want to go? Reports suggest that he's very settled in Wolverhampton. He's come out with quotes saying he just loves walking around town. You see him on his Instagram. He goes to the local shop. He goes to the park. He lives close to the training ground, apparently, and he seems to be really happy. So hopefully, if big clubs do come in and start inquiring, oh yeah, you like Man City or whatever, hopefully he will stick with us for a few more years and keep with us, because he's getting on now. Well, not getting on. He's 28. He's in his prime years of his career. So hopefully he will stick with us, because we showed faith in him and signed him, give him first team football, and he hasn't half repaid us. And also, from a selfish point of view, he brings in the views on YouTube, because the Mexican fans are absolutely incredible. I mean, the following we've gained from Mexican fans just because of Raúl Jiménez has been crazy. My YouTube analytics, I've got like 2,800 subscribers. I think like 30% of them are Mexican. That just proves how much of a draw this bloke is. They absolutely love him. We love him. And if he can keep this up and stay injury free, he's going to be a big reason why we finish high up the league and potentially get far in the Europa League. Now let's go on to Adama Traoré. Yeah, so as we transition from Jiménez to Traoré, I just want to read this out. Jiménez and Traoré are the most prolific partnership in the Premier League in 1920. They've combined for 8 goals more than anyone else in the league. That's from Tim Spears there. And what a great stat that is. I mean, they've been so good for us this season, haven't they? They've combined so well. Jiménez getting on the end of a lot of Traoré's crosses, just like against Liverpool last night. Anyway, on to Traoré now. Can we keep him? Now, Traoré has become a bit of a phenomenon. Phenomenon? Is that the right word? This season. He was poor last year. I mean, you think back to the summer, there was plenty of Wolves fans who would have actually probably let him go because he had no end product last year. Obviously, he was quick. He had a bit of like dribbling skills and things like that, but his crossing and his decision making and his shooting just weren't up to scratch. But Nuno saw something in him. He got rid of Cavan Costa, obviously out on loan and option to buy. And look at the transformation. One-to-one coaching with him, Nuno's just brought an absolute monster out, and he's become mega famous as well. I mean, I don't play FIFA much anymore, but I believe he's like 99 pace on FIFA and the Ultimate Team and things like that. So he's becoming a huge name. There's hundreds of compilations of him on YouTube, of him taking everyone on. Every week, pundits are raving about him. When we lost to Tottenham 2-1 at home, allegedly all the Tottenham players were saying to Mourinho, you've got to sign him. He's unplayable at times. It's just crazy. And some stats here on Twitter I've gone through again for him from Footy Accumulators here. Andy Robinson became the 20th player to be booked for Raúl and Adama Traoré this season. Unplayable is probably the right word. The 20th player to get booked. That is just absolutely crazy. Anyone who comes up against him just is scared to death of him. They have to hack him down, so that's why they get booked. You think back to that Spurs game I mentioned, about 4 of them had a go on him. He really is unplayable at times. And I love his attitude because he just gets up and gets on with it as well. So what a transformation it's been from him. Obviously amazing for Wolves, but the interest coming from other clubs now is starting to worry me a bit. I mean, just here, as you can see, Jurgen Klopp last night praised the winger after last night's match. Traoré is pretty much at the moment unplayable. He's not only a winger, he keeps the ball, holds the ball and sets up goals. That makes it difficult. Each ball you lose is 100% a counter-attack for them. What compliments that is. I think he also said that Wolves are like different to anything he's come up against. Compliments from everywhere, and they're the champions, and we pretty much outplayed the new Premier League champions, the world champions in Liverpool, off the park last night. And with Klopp praising Traoré like that, I'm pretty worried that Liverpool probably will come in for him in the summer. And again, with Jiménez, will he stay? I think with Traoré, he seems happy again. Will he show Nuno some loyalty, because Nuno showed him loyalty, and give us a few more years? It's going to be tough because there's no doubt about it. People are going to come in for him. And what price would you want? How much would he be worth? We got him for 18 million. It's looking like a bargain now, isn't it? Let's be honest, in today's market. And what would you sell him for? What would you want as a Wolves fan if he was to go? I'm literally talking around 80 million at least in today's market. He is the most informed Premier League player at the moment by far. He's a joy to watch. When you're at the Molineux, I'm sure a Wolves fans watching this can relate. He gets the ball, you sit up and you're on the edge of your seat. That's the type of players you want in your club. And also, for a lot of times this season, our tactic has literally been, when we're struggling to break teams down, give it to Traoré and see what happens. Just let him take on about 5 players. So, what a player. Much improved, and I really, really do hope he stays. And it's going to be worrying in the summer, depending on obviously how we finish. If we get into the Champions League by winning the Europa League, or we sneak in the top 4, unlikely, I know. But if we do, they'll probably stay. If we end up coming mid-table and getting knocked out in the early knockout stage of the Europa League, will Jiménez and Traoré's head be turned? I hope not. I personally think Traoré will give us a couple of more years. I hope. But will the big boys coming in turn his head? I really do hope not. Now, comment down below in the comments if you think we're going to keep Jiménez and Traoré. Maybe you think want to go, maybe you think want to stay. And another question I want to ask, because I did actually see a picture of this online earlier. Who do you think is the most important player for Wolves out of Jiménez and Traoré at the moment? For me, I think it's Traoré. He's been our player of the season so far. If the vote was now, he'd get my vote, Traoré. Both amazing. Need both from really important, obviously. If Jiménez gets injured, we're in big trouble. But also, if Traoré got injured, we'd be in big trouble. So yeah, comment down below your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next week for Man United away. Cheers.